And welcome to Inside the Zoo. It is episode 4, joined by a very special guest here. It is freshman defensive back Marcus Scott II joining us, my friend. Marcus, how you doing, man? How's everything been going?
Everything's been going good, man. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great here, heading into, gosh, it's crazy how the season goes so fast already. Talking about game 4 here, and man, I know that it's got to be a whirlwind for you as a freshman coming in here, learning the defense, going through camp in the fall, and then to come in here, season starts, and here we are already at game 4. That's like a quarter of the way through the season. Crazy, isn't it?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's going by fast.
Well, what's college been like for you, man? Are you acclimating well? How you like Columbia?
I'm loving Columbia. I'm a Texas dude, so coming to a city like this, it was a little different, but I say Columbia has been opening arms, so I'm really loving it so far.
Glad to hear it. Missouri has long had a pipeline through the state of Texas, and specifically down in the Houston area. One of the best running backs in Mizzou football history, Henry Josie, comes from down there. You're from Conroe, I believe. So just take us through it, man. You committed to Mizzou last June. Some big time programs out there were high on your services there. Auburn, for one, a team Missouri's getting ready to play, and the Houston Cougars from right down in your backyard. So in the end, why was Mizzou the fit for you?
Mizzou's the fit for me because of the people. All the coaches here, they genuine. They really know what they're talking about, and they know where you want to go, and they know exactly how to get you there. So I say that, from that aspect, they really stuck out for me. From when I first started talking to them up until I got here, nothing's changed. So I guess, that's what really drew me to the zoo. Now it's been the same way since I've been here, so I'm loving it.
Well, is it hard for you? Obviously freshmen don't, travel to road games very often. So is it kind of weird whenever, you come off the home game, get a big win over Abilene Christian, and then the team's got to go on the road in an SEC game and you don't travel? Is that hard to watch the team go travel and you have to stay back?
Oh yeah, especially as a competitor, but you always want to see your guys win, so whatever it takes.
Definitely need that because going on the road to Auburn, what a great environment it is down there on the plains of Auburn, and hopefully a place you get to experience sometime. But man, coming off a big win against Abilene Christian, and it seems to me like the defense, Marcus, is really playing well. Guys like Ennis Rakestraw, I think on 2 consecutive defensive series, he had a pick and then forced a fumble. So talk about some of those older classmen, Ennis Rakestraw, some of these guys, like a Jalen Carlisle, and I think last year Dalen Carnell was on the show. Just some of these other defensive backs that have kind of been around the program, and Chris Abrams-Drain that have been here, and have they kind of taken you under their wing a little bit?
Oh, big time. All of these guys, they're vets in this league, so just their guidance and their helping. They're like big brothers to me, and I appreciate everything that they do because not a lot of guys do it better than them. And I'll say that. Just learning from them, seeing them, how they go through things, how they process things, how they game plan. It's like a blueprint that I can use for the future. So I'm really appreciative of them and what they do.
Oh, that's tremendous. Obviously come in as a part of last year's class. You're a bigger player. You're 6'2". It's got you listed at 168, but I'm going to guess that they got you a little above 168 these days. I bet you're playing at what, about 180?
I don't know. I'm like 185 now.
There you go. How about that? So, but bigger corners are like kind of the end thing. What is it about, your size and that you think is an advantage? Because, it seems like back in, I know when I was growing up, like in the 90s and things, you had always like shorter corners that could cover ground and were fast and could cover ground. But, if it came to a jump ball or it comes to in the red zone, it's hard to cover that. So as a taller player, man, that's an advantage, is it not?
Oh yeah, big time. You listed all the advantages, being taller, jump balls, I'd say covering ground too, just the physical aspect of being bigger, it's all things that you can use to your advantage, out there on the island.
Yeah, absolutely. And that seems to be kind of just a fad going around that, teams are liking these bigger corners. That definitely is you, sir. So, how do you feel about the season so far? Missouri, you go to Kansas State, lose a big game against kind of a former rival here. But obviously that game, that did not take the wind out of this team's sails, because I saw and the attitude of some of the players that we talked to here in the last couple of weeks, man, and how hard is that to just move on from a loss like that and just keep going? It's a long season, obviously, but how difficult is it?
I mean, of course, losing is a hard thing, but here we like to have a 1-0 mentality. So we like to look at what we did, find it, correct it, and move on and handle the next opponent, and not dwell on it too long, not too high, not too low. So I'd say from that aspect, we have a really good mindset going into each week, trying to go and be 1-0 in any environment that we are. So.
Well, how important was it to play football in the SEC? You had suitors from all across the conference. Was the SEC just in general where you wanted to be? Is that the conference itself important for you to be a part of?
Oh yeah. It was for me. I figured the SEC, was the best conference in football, and that's exactly where I wanted to be. The best competitors, the best players, just the best competition out there. That's exactly what I wanted to be a part of.
It's crazy because, growing up, Missouri was in the Big 12. It's been 10 years now. Missouri's been in the SEC. It's crazy. And do you think that changes the perception, like for recruits, maybe down in Texas, down in your area, that you like, hey, maybe I wouldn't think about Mizzou, but hey, man, they're in the SEC. That's a whole new ball game. Do you think that was the case for you? Like if Missouri was in the Big 12, for instance, maybe you don't wind up here. Is that possible?
I wouldn't say that. I just say that it's all about the relationships. Of course, the SEC tag is something that's a big motivator to come to Mizzou now out of Texas. But either way, the coaches would have got to me one way or another. I'd say that.
Let's talk about Coach Baker. To me, coming in first year, the defensive coordinator, doing a tremendous job. Just what's it been like throughout fall camp, working with him? It seems like that he's a guy that, he knows what he wants. He's a passionate guy. Just being the limited practice that I got to see, I just really like what I saw in the way he interacts with you guys and the drills and stuff like that. And he relies a lot on leadership. And so just talk about him and what it's been like kind of playing for him.
I'd say that, one word to describe Coach Baker is competitor. Another one would be intensity. See, Coach Baker, he's one that he breeds competition, and I love that. I love how Coach Baker is able to connect with his players. He's able to coach you hard, but he also loves you just as hard. So I'd say that in that way, he's a real players coach. He knows how to get the best out of his players all throughout fall camp through now. He's a great game planner. He just knows exactly what it takes to make you tick. And I'd say that that's one thing that I really appreciate in him as a coach.
There's a lot of talent on this team, this defense. You see it. You see the athleticism. You see the speed. Someone like a Tyron Hopper, just absolutely like sideline to sideline. You see that in the secondary. Maybe there hasn't been this much depth up front in a long time. So when you guys play in practice against this offense, Brady Cook's trying to find his footing at quarterback right now. You got guys like Luther Bird and Dominic Lovett, some tremendous running backs, guys like Nathaniel Pete, and this running game that we're trying to get going. So just what's it like playing against this offense? And do you feel like that they're maybe about to explode and find their footing here in these next few games?
Oh, big time. I love going against our offense. Our offense is full of just competitors and people that want to bring it every single day. So I'd say that, in that way, I'd say a breakout is most definitely about to happen. But, going against our offense every day, it's good on good all the time. I always say iron sharpens iron, and I'd say just like that, that's exactly true in our offense. Iron definitely sharpens iron every single day.
I love that. Love that saying. Got to ask you about this because obviously in today's college landscape, we have wonderful opportunities for student athletes and for you to be able to be a part of the DB Zoo collective here and the hornsdownmizzou.com. We got the Marcus Scott shirt there. I love that shirt, by the way. Did you design? Who designed that?
Oh, it was a whole 10 people that designed it. I wish I could thank everybody individually for that.
That is great. And then we put up the Isaac Thompson shirt here as well.
Yeah.
The fellow freshman defensive back that came in the class with you, part of the top 25 recruiting class, and I think the two corners that came from this class. So both of you in there, and that just. What do you feel like that has opened up so many things? I mean, it's not just about like, money. Everybody can go just get their hands on some money. It's more about just like being a part of the university, being a part of things like this that we're doing right now. Marcus, I've been doing this. I've been covering this team a long time, and to be able to do a show to have current players join, I think it opens up so many more, avenues for fans to enjoy. So with that being said, you guys being able to have just a small benefit out of that it's a great thing for everyone, is it not?
Oh, it definitely is a great thing for everyone. I say NIL has opened many doors for many players around, the country. But especially here, I'd say that just things like this, things that we're able to profit off of, things that may not be, that much or that little, whatever it is, whatever amount it is for each player, it's just a great thing that we're even able to benefit from it. So I think that, that change in college football has been something that, really, like you said, opened a whole lot of new doors for players around the country.
That's absolutely so well said. And I do the show here with former Mizzou linebacker Steve Redman from like back in the 2000s. He's like my age. We're old, Marcus. But he, every week he's like the old man, get off my lawn, about this, because they didn't quite have those opportunities back then. So I got to keep reminding him,
Right.
hey, times change. We've evolved, man. So no, it's a great thing, and I'm so glad that we've partnered with Hornsdown Mizzou. Hornsdown Shop. They do such a great job. And again, I just want to put that shirt back up one more time because I've seen some of these around Faroe Field the first couple games, Marcus. So you got some family coming up. You got some friends. Like, what's been the situation here so far? People trying to come up and see you play. I know, we don't play in Texas all that often. Maybe we'll get a game at A&M at some point. That would help the family members, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, it definitely would. Everybody back in Texas. But, I'd say that, they're just as happy watching on TV as being up here, even though we have a great environment. Of course, people want to be up here, but it's a long drive from Texas. So,
Man, I've made that drive many a time.
Yeah.
I get it. So you grew up down in Houston. So obviously you got to know some Texas Longhorns. So they're joining the SEC. How do you feel about that? You can have Texas and A&M in the SEC, making it just one big party here. And then you got Oklahoma as well. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, and Oklahoma and Texas joining just adds to the pot, just adds more competition to the SEC. That's what we're about, so I'm all for it.
And we can keep the horns down, right? I might get in trouble for having doing that. I don't know. They don't like that. But is there an environment or a stadium, a place that you are most excited about going to play at? I mean, gosh, in the SEC, there's so many. I've had the fortune of being to a game at every single place, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, all of them. So is there one or two that you're most looking forward to playing at?
Yeah, I mean, I've really heard the older guys talk about the Florida environment and the South Carolina environment. So, I'm definitely looking forward to going to those two.
Yeah, South Carolina is one of the most underrated in the country. Absolutely. Florida, you get it the wrong time of year. You know about that Southern Texas heat, but it's like that in Florida year round. So so many great places. And Mizzou, what's Mizzou's had 2 home games so far, 2-0 at home. The biggest crowd, I think, in the Eli Drinkwitz era here this last game. So how do you feel about the home crowd so far?
Oh, the home crowd's been great. Fans coming out to the games, they come to see a game and they get a game every single time. So, I say the home crowd, they've always been there to support us, and we really appreciate everything that they do.
This is the show me state here, which is kind of a strange term, the show me state here in Missouri. So you're part of this, young recruiting class here that comes in here, and they're trying to change the culture here at Missouri. I don't know how much you knew about, Missouri football back when. It's hard to believe that like Mizzou was number 1 in 2007. You were very young when that happened. I feel like I was pretty young when that happened too. What happened? But so just to change the course of what Missouri is, Missouri goes to a bowl game last year, and to keep that going, to keep that on the upward trajectory. I mean, how important is that for you as your career is now getting started here to be a part of like a turnaround here of getting this program to the next level?
It was super important. That was one of the most drawing factors for me, getting to be a part of something new, be a part of a turnaround in order to make something great. So that's something that's really important to me, especially as a competitor in myself. Turning something around and making something great, there's no better feeling.
That's tremendous. What's your relationship like with Coach Drinkwitz? He's been somebody that from the moment I met him, he always just struck me such a jovial person. He's always got like some clever quip. He's sharp. He's like almost he could be like a comedian or something. Like he's just a sharp person. He always has something to say. Like you could never one up him. What's your relationship like with him? How do you feel about Coach Drink?
Oh, I love Coach Drink. Just our relationship is just, I'd say that like how I describe Coach Baker. Just a players coach, gets to know his players, loves his players, coaches his players, but like I said, I love Coach Drink. You know, just the way that he is with his players and the way he is with the team, the way he handles things, both win and loss. I feel like he does it in a very respectful and a very I guess like cordial. Like I don't want to say cordial, but like just a good manner. You know, he never shows us any downsides. He only shows us like the bright light to look at whenever things seem like might be pretty bleak. So and that's why I say he's very inspirational.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. I think that that's important and not always the case when it comes to relationship with coaches and players. And there's, more than one way that coaches do this. I mean, we see all sorts of different things across the country. So that's very cool. And it's very good to hear. So far, Marcus, you've been here, for a little while now, a couple months here. When did you arrive on campus?
I arrived on campus in January. I was an early enrollee.
That's right. Do you think that was an advantage for you?
Oh, yeah. Being able to get in and learn the defense early, have that time to really get settled and get fit in the defense. Yeah, I definitely think it was an advantage.
Yeah, that's an interesting situation because you missed out on some things. I mean, you only get to be in high school once. Do you feel like you missed out on prom and stuff? Like, was that important to you at all, or are you just football minded like me?
Well, I was able to go back home for prom, and I walked in graduation in December. So there wasn't really much else I figured that there was to miss in high school.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So you've been in Columbia since January, so you've obviously got some of your favorite hot spots, some of your favorite places to go eat. What's standing out so far? I mean, what can you suggest, like for people that haven't been to Columbia yet, or some of the new guys that maybe don't get out as much, or you got any hot spots you like?
2 places. Shakespeare's Pizza and Bud's Barbecue on the same street, on the same exact street. So all you gotta do, one is right here, the other one you gotta walk, a couple meters down. But yeah, Shakespeare's and Bud's Barbecue, 2 places to hit before game day or after game day.
They can send you the check for that later, man. Now you just gave them a ringing endorsement. And Shakespeare's Pizza, there's nothing. I mean, it's a pillar of Columbia, Missouri. It's like that's the one place that College Game Day's been in there, doing features and stuff like that. So that's pretty legendary. That's like one of my favorite. Yeah. It's like the best pizza to me I've probably ever had. So, I mean, so you're from Houston. So are you a barbecue? So you're a barbecue guy. So you found a good barbecue.
Big barbecue guy.
So this is where it comes down to. This is what we really wanted to have you on to talk about. Football, Mizzou, Auburn on Saturday. That's one thing, but barbecue, Texas versus Missouri barbecue. This is a big argument that goes on. So where are you at with it right now?
This is a big argument.
Texas, yeah. I mean, Missouri barbecue versus Texas barbecue. You hear it's like a rivalry.
It's Texas barbecue all the way.
Uh-oh. Well, have you been to Kansas City yet? See, I live in Kansas City.
I have not. I have not been to Kansas City yet, so that might change my mind. You never know. But from where it stands right now, it's Texas barbecue.
Do you have a favorite? Did you ever grow up watching a pro team? Did you cheer for the Texans or Cowboys or?
Yeah, I grew up cheering for the Texans. I still do cheer for the Texans. That's my team.
Yeah, that's great. You hear a lot of people that just like. We've interviewed guys on the team that are just, I don't mind if they're Chiefs fans, but like they cheer for teams. It's like, okay, you didn't grow up there. What's this? So you Texans guy. I mean, I've been to a game down there. That's a good place. Mizzou played in a bowl game down there in that dome. So it's a good place. It's good. Texans got a tie so far. So
we did have a tie. So I'll give them that so far.
That is awesome. Well, Marcus, like Mizzou, it's 11 a.m. here against Auburn. What do you do when the team travels? Where are you watching the game at? Like with some of the other freshmen that didn't travel, some of the injured guys. Like, what do you guys do for the game when you're not playing in it or there?
Oh yeah, we all get together and watch the game. Pretty much as a team. So we can. We're still a part of the team, still supporting our teammates on the field. So that's exactly what we're going to do this time too.
Well, looking for some big results. This is a big opportunity, I feel like, Marcus, because you go on the road here, and Auburn is, they've had some quarterback issues. They're going to be starting Robbie Ashford, I think a transfer from Oregon. They've had some quarterbacks go down with injury. They've lost. They have some trouble at the quarterback position. So maybe this is an opportunity for Missouri to get that road win. Road wins do not come easy here in the SEC, and there's only been 2 for the Tigers in the last 2 years. So getting a road win here would just be massive, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, monumental.
I love that word. So my buddy here, Noah, piping. So I told you it was going to be all about barbecue. I should never have brought it up. He says we got Gates, Jackstack, Q39, Joe's, and Zarda. So many great places here. Marcus, try these, then report back. So we got an assignment for you here. We've opened up a door here, so we got to get you here to KC, man. You got to get you here to a Chiefs game sometime. We got Patrick Mahomes. Things are going pretty well here in KC on the NFL side. So
I'm familiar with Patrick Mahomes.
He's from White House, so that's up in Dallas, obviously
Yeah.
way north from you. But I think the Chiefs play the Texans this year at home, so maybe we get you up here for that. What do you say?
Yeah, well, I don't know about that one.
Dude, you got to experience it. You walk into Arrowhead Stadium, the barbecue, the smell of it's unbelievable. The crowd, I mean, it's as close to a college environment as there is. We got to get you to a Chiefs game, man.
Oh yeah, well, that sounds like a plan to me.
Marcus, I've kept you for so long. This has been so fun. I planned on cutting you loose a lot sooner, but this has been so great. And again, I just want to remind people about the DB Zoo 22 collective that's at hornsdownmizzou.com. And again, you get the Marcus Scott shirt. You guys just learned a lot about Marcus here, even though he prefers the Texas barbecue. Right now, he's only lived here for less than a year. There's the shirt. Get it. Get Isaac's as well, and check out all the rest of the merchandise. Marcus, I'm going to be so excited to watch you grow here and your career develop, because nothing but good things for you, my friend. This has just been a tremendous getting to know you, and I hope the Mizzou fans all enjoyed it, man. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. Well, let's hit it one time before we head out. M-I-Z.
Z-O-U, buddy. Thank you so much.
Go. All right.
Well, that was great to have Marcus Scott II join us. Great to get to know him. It was one of those deals when, you bring on a freshman. This is all kind of new territory here for us here at Snarkade Media, doing this show, partnering with Horns Down Mizzou, to bring on some of the players that they have signed to their NIL situation, to be able to get to know players like that. This is just something that didn't really exist before this. So what an opportunity. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We appreciate all the comments. Keep those coming. We always love to have the feedback. And so whenever we have these players on, you guys ask them questions. It's great to know that they have questions to answer and that people want to know more about them. So here we go, guys. Mizzou, Auburn. This is a tough game. Missouri is still a 7-point underdog going on the road. And I think Matthew O'Rourke earlier, I'm going to pull that comment back up because he sees something in this game. He says he's excited to see the fellows in person. He's going to be there in Auburn. Oh, he's going to be on the plains. Matt, that's great. Can't wait to hear Jordan Hare silent at the end of the game. I'll tell you this, Matt. I've been to Jordan Hare. My partner, Noah Groninger, and I've been to Jordan Hare and seen it silent. 2018, we're on our documentary shoot for Saturday Supremacy. We go to the Auburn-Tennessee game, and Tennessee gets the big upset there. And Auburn, Jordan Hare was indeed silent. Maybe we'll see it like that again. As long as they're not rolling toilet paper up Toomer's corner, that means it's been a good day for the Missouri Tigers here. So a rare opportunity to see Mizzou play in that stadium. Hope everybody that's going enjoys it. It's 11 a.m. kickoff time here locally, Missouri and Auburn. Hard to get a prediction. I mean, earlier on my sports betting show, Winner Takes It All, I had Auburn as part of my 4-game parlay. I might want to rethink that a little bit, man. I think this Missouri team, this is an opportunity. And that's what I wrote an article for our website, starcademedia.com, earlier in the week, talking about Missouri has an opportunity here to press the reset button on this season, to go to Auburn and get a win over a team that's struggling, that just lost, 41-12 to Penn State. Penn State's a good team, but to go into Jordan Hare and to push them around and do that, and a team that's got quarterback issues, I think that we know right now what Missouri's going to have to do to get this win. We know Tank Bigsby is a beast at running back. He's already got 237 yards, 3 touchdowns on the season. You're going to have to slow him down, but this Missouri defense is more athletic, getting push up front. I think that bodes well, and especially as well as these defensive backs are playing. We've seen Enos Rakestraw force a couple turnovers last week. We've seen Jalen Carlisle with a pick. We've seen Joseph Charleston with a pick 6. There's guys on this team, and I think that Dalen Carnell, who was on this show last week, another member of the Horns Down Mizzou collective there, just tremendous, a lot of upside, a lot of young talent here on that back end. So if they can, make this a clean game, force some turnovers, get Missouri this win, it would be monumental and help turn the season around, because you got to get off this 500 schneid if you're the Missouri Tigers. So we'll see what happens. 11 a.m. kickoff. Thanks so much for joining us here inside the Zoo. Starcade Media. Hit up our socials, Starcade Media. Like, follow, subscribe, all the stuff. We got it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We got it all. And don't forget our friends at hornsdownmizzou.com. Go get the shirt. Go support the guys. Now, this is what how college athletics is now. So we get used to it, and this is a great way to do it. So go support the guys. Thanks so much for joining us here inside the Zoo.